Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So it is already happening. Some dealerships across the US are already charging huge premiums, huge markups over MSRP for their last wave of 2024 Toyota 4Runners. The last of the 5th generation 4Runner here is going to be a dying breed, right? So it's long in the tooth, a very old, archaic platform with a very thirsty, naturally aspirated 4-liter V6 tied to a kind of old but a very trusty 5-speed automatic transmission. This is a bulletproof platform, and it really does inspire a whole lot of confidence for people. And well, some dealerships are fully aware of that, and they see the writing on the wall. They see what the new 6th generation 4Runner is going to look like, be a turbocharged hybridized 4-cylinder, a very complex platform by comparison to this, right? So people are going to miss it, and well, dealerships see the writing on the wall and they're already charging huge markups for it. Same goes for the 2021 and older Toyota Tundra. When this went away, the values of them skyrocketed. Same goes for the 2021 and older Toyota Land Cruiser. The Heritage Edition in particular with the 5.7-liter V8, values skyrocketed when people can no longer get it. Because people quickly miss what they can't have, for starters. It's the forbidden fruit philosophy, but they miss the simplicity, they miss the reliability, and well, they miss the affordability compared to what these new platforms go for. This Tundra over here, $54,000 was the MSRP. The new Tundra, well, as of today, is $77,000 roughly, give or take $1,000 depending on how you spec it with running boards and whatnot. Prices have gotten out of hand. We're going to see that with the 4Runner here, I guarantee it. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you some pretty disgusting examples of dealerships already charging a huge premium for their last wave of 2024 4Runners. And I'll give you those examples. We'll show you what that 6th generation 4Runner looks like in and out. I just got eyes on it the other day for the very first time in person. Remind you what that is going to be all about and compare it to the 5th generation here and get your opinion. Which of the two platforms are you more interested in? Are you trying to get your hands on the last of a 2024 model, or are you waiting for that new, full new redesign, that tech refresh version of it? A lot more complex, but there's goodness in both examples, of course. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let's get into it. So I'll kind of throw up some examples as I walk around my personal 2024 4Runner TRD Pro here. Mine is an Underground. I'm seeing a lot of Terra colored ones. That is the TRD Pro exclusive color for 2024, as well as Underground being among the biggest group of marked up examples. You know, Terra being a little bit more rare and special for the year tends to be the highest and most marked up. You know, for me personally, Terra just seemed a little more, I don't know, a little too brown for my personal liking, which is why I got the Underground one here. But we're talking $74,000 for a new example. Well, one with 36 miles is what I'm finding, 74 grand. We're talking $72,000-ish for a lightly used Underground 4Runner TRD Pro. I'll throw up the examples on the screen as we talk through it. Yeah, but it's not just the special colors. You know, even white ones are, you know, having $70,000 plus, and even previous year, 2023, a solar octane example, I saw one up there for I think 68,000 some change, which is pretty absurd. So this here, this platform, although old and archaic and just very simplistic and boring to a lot of people, I understand, it just works, right? So this does stick true to Toyota's core values. You know, it is very simplistic, but the reliability is there, and it really does offer unmatched peace of mind. And well, normally, historically speaking, I'll say, if you're able to buy the last model year of a generation, you're generally in a good spot. You know, by that point, Toyota has taken that Kaizen approach. Kaizen means making small, continuous improvements throughout the lifespan of a vehicle to try to reach perfection. And reaching that perfection just takes small, incremental improvements throughout its lifespan, not huge, giant changes every 2 or 3 years like we see from domestic manufacturers. So this here, technically, with it being the last model year of the 5th generation, on paper, it really should be the most perfected version of it. So in 2021, they did come out with a new set of wheels that looked pretty similar to this, but then they reverted back to the old examples here, which is kind of funny. They did it due to supply constraints, apparently. But I think this 5th generation here, although mine is very dirty at the moment, don't mind that, it really is a timeless design. I think you can't go wrong with it. I've touted it a ton of times on the channel. This truly does scratched the itch for so many Toyota enthusiasts, for the same reasons why the previous generation Toyota Tundra did too, right? If you get in, I'll remind you, I'll pop in each of them, just kind of give you a quick reminder. They're so sparse on the inside, so very simplistic, a lot of plastic, nothing more than what you need, truly, when you get inside of it. But honestly, it allows it to age well. And maybe that's not the best way to say it, but when you get inside, it's just, when you have all that tech, like look at an older Mercedes-Benz, like a Mercedes-Benz from just like 2015. If you get inside of it, you'd be like, oh my gosh, is this from like 30 years ago? It ages quick when you try to put the most advanced technology in it. Let me remind you what we're working with here. So nothing to write home to mom about by any means. Super simplistic, super dated, and chintzy in places, right? I mean, like this here, I never loved this. It's like a little faux carbon fiber. It doesn't look good, I don't think. This here, this little shifter gate, what is going on here? It looks like it's from a toy, right? So a very simplistic, plasticky interior all throughout. But tell you what, in 15, 20 years, you'll get in here and be, oh wow, this kind of aged well, right? Analog gauges there, only with a high resolution center stack there, and then a very modest infotainment here, although they did update this in 2020. But you would never guess that as you look around in here. Softex leather interior. Yeah. Tan headliner. Yeah, you get the hint. And I'll remind you in this video, I'll throw up some B-roll. Just the other day I saw a 6th generation 2025 Toyota 4Runner Trail Hunter for the first time in person, and it looks good. I won't beat it up. I think it looks good. I don't know, I do prefer this. I prefer this. There's just a lot less going on here. It's a lot less in your face. And again, it just ultimately comes down to the peace of mind, being able to fire this thing up, knowing that it's going to start every single time. There's no hybridization. There's no battery pack bumping up the cargo space like we get in those newer generation Toyotas. It is everything you need and nothing more. Even a manual rear hatch. How about that? Let me fire it up for you real quick. Foot on brake. So high resolution center stack there. Yeah, 94 miles on this guy. Turn it back off. Let me show you the Tundra. So I bought this knowing that it was going to sustain value very well. You know, I thought it was going to go up just a little bit next year, which I'm still confident that will be the case. You know, we're already seeing it happen very early on. This is much earlier than I thought it was going to happen. But I was confident in buying the 4Runner because of what happened to this guy, right? We saw the same exact thing with the 2021 Toyota Tundra, or the previous generation Tundra in general. Values of these have skyrocketed, and especially immediately after they went away. Right when they went away, gosh, you're spending high 50s to 60,000 plus for a low mile example. Low mile example, previous generation with the 5.7 liter V8. Already several $1,000s more than its original MSRP back in 2021, and you're spending that a few years later. So kind of, forgive me, it's a little dirty. But, so I knew this as a prime example, people were gonna miss the old archaic ways of, you know, the prior gen Toyota. And I would argue that, in my very biased opinion, I would still argue that this is when Toyota was sticking true to form. You know, not cashing in on the tax credits and the green carbon credits that they get from the government. Whereas now, under new leadership and new CEO leadership, you know, they're clearly making that pivot to cash in on green credits, unfortunately, right? So they weren't doing that with this thirsty thing, right? 14 miles to the gallon on a good day. But I tell you what, I'd rather spend a lot more time at the pump versus the shop, which we're finding with the new generation Tundras, right? They're experiencing main crankshaft bearing issues, left and right now, the 22 and 23 models in particular due to the engine debris issue, safety recall. But I think that is going to be, unfortunately, a theme as we move forward with the new generation. The same goes for the new generation 4Runner, that 6th generation 4Runner, a tiny 2.4 liter turbocharged hybridized platform. Although better performance numbers left and right, better fuel economy, not much, but better fuel economy. I don't know. I would take this. I would take the slow, old, archaic thing that's going to work better by comparison between the two. So let me know what you guys think. We even saw it with, like I said, that 2021 Toyota Land Cruiser. That was perhaps the scariest example of it. When that 5.7 liter V8 200 series went away for the US back in 2021, that was the last year they offered it. That following year, values went up 10,000 plus over the original MSRP, left and right for low miles examples. Even today, you're easily spending well over its original $89,000 plus MSRP, well over that for a low mile example 3 years later. So the Land Cruiser is another prime example of it. The FJ Cruiser, that was our first indicator of this happening, right? The FJ Cruiser went away in 2014 for the US market, and they left off with the Trail Team's Ultimate Edition. If you guys recall, that Heritage Blue, when that went away, what did we see? We saw the values of those just skyrocket, right? And they continuously bring in high figures. Even today, a 2014 FJ Cruiser Trail Team's Ultimate Edition with, I'd say, 30,000 miles or less is still bringing in well over its original MSRP back in 2014. So all that to say, I beat a dead horse in this video, I understand, but if you do have an opportunity to buy yourself a last model year of the 5th generation 4Runner, especially a TRD Pro, if you can get your hands on one for MSRP or better, I say do it, guys. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I truly believe that this will do well. You know, I may not make money on it per se, but I will be able to drive it for a year or two if I hold on to it that long and not lose my rear end on it. And that's a hard thing to do. You can't do that with too many vehicles nowadays, but this here seemed like a gimme opportunity for that, because, well, that 6th generation 4Runner, especially the Trail Hunter and the TRD Pro 6th generation in 2025, how much are we expecting to see for that? We're expecting $69,000, $70,000 plus for the Trail Hunter and TRD Pro in particular. We can confidently assume that because the 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro right now, what do they want? They want over $65,000. $65,000 plus is the MSRP on the 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. And historically speaking, the Tacoma is just a little less expensive comparatively to the 4Runner, historically speaking. So we can expect the 4Runner to be just a little bit more in price, and that would push it to that $69,000 figure, I think. So here you have it. MSRP on this was $56,000 and some change back in 2024. And, well, I mean, even though that is a lot, I'm not going to discount that. It's a lot, but we're still a lot less than $69,000. Was that $13,000 gap? Public math, but it's a huge gap. We saw the same thing happen with that Tundra there, right? From 2021, MSRP on that, $54,000 some change. In 2022, it turned into $71,000 and some change after delivery, right? Huge hike in price. Was that 17,000-ish? Huge hike in price. We're seeing the same thing with this. So I digress. I just wanted to show you a few examples of it already beginning, and dealerships are already licking their chops, taking advantage of, you know, people trying to avoid FOMO. All right, so the last wave, hey, it's your last opportunity to buy it. This is your last chance. You got to buy mine for $15,000 over MSRP. So let me know what your thoughts on that are on that, and let me know if you're seeing this in your local Toyota dealership. I'd be curious to know that. If you guys appreciate this type of content, I sincerely appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video. And if you like it and want to see more, let me know, and please consider like and subscribe. Your support means a lot. Till next time.